Mr. Garrison, interesting times during COVID as a banker. Yeah?
Without a doubt.
I'm sure your customers took out PPP loans. Yes?
They did.
And you were probably working that all from March forward. Yes?
We were.
With major clients of the bank, I'm sure. True?
Yes.
You had loans in workout from customers who couldn't transact as much business probably as they wanted to. True?
No. You
didn't have any loans in workout during COVID?
Three.
Three total for the bank?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to go one by one through them here in just a minute. Okay. You familiar with the CARES Act that prompted the PPP loans?
Objection, Mr. President. Relevance.
It's about to get real relevant.
I'm willing to let that question end, overruled.
Okay. You familiar with the CARES Act?
I am familiar in as much as I know it exists. I did not read it in its entirety.
There was an eviction moratorium, wasn't there?
Objection, providing facts not in evidence. He said he's not familiar with it.
Sustained.
Let me try again. Did you know there was an eviction moratorium under the CARES Act?
Yes.
Did you know there was a foreclosure moratorium under the CARES Act?
Yes.
Did you know that it went until July 30th of 2020?
I did not.
As the president or CEO of your bank, was you president or CEO or both?
Both.
As the president and CEO of the bank of Amplify Credit Union, why don't you tell, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when the foreclosure moratorium ended under the CARES Act?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
If you would?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
No.
Amplify wasn't Nate Paul Sr. lender or anything, was it? You had
Objection,
3 loans.
speculation.
Sustained.
Was Amplify Nate Paul Sr. lender?
Objection, speculation.
If you know.
He asked the question, overruled. You can answer.
We were with respect to these 3 properties.
3 special purpose entities that Mr. Paul set up, true?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to take a look at what's been marked as Exhibit AG 1031. And Your Honor, at this time, we move for admission in bulk of Exhibits AG 1031 through 1044.
Any objection?
Your Honor, I don't know. He has not provided me a copy.
I handed it to you, didn't I? Big stack right there.
Oh, I don't know.
Got a sticky note, it's purple. That's the ticket.
I stand corrected. Your Honor, or Mr. President, I think they're exact duplicate of what I've already provided. No objection.
Not quite. These are actually in chronological order. But no objection, right?
No objection, Ms. Hepling?
No objection, Mr. President.
Mr. Arroyo, if you would.
Hold on 1 second. Let me submit them to evidence. AG 1031 to 1044, please. AG 1031 through 1044, please admit to evidence.
Mr. Arroyo, if you would. AG Exhibit 1031. Your lawyers are Streisand, Landon, Osborne, and Lemon, correct?
Yes.
And Steve Lemon is a partner in that law firm, correct?
His name's on the letterhead, so one would presume.
Yeah, and he was actually the lawyer representing the receiver in a separate Nate Paul case, correct?
Objection, speculation, and relevance.
Overruled.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. What's the date of this item here?
The date is May 27th of 2020.
Okay. And what is this document?
This is a notice of default and demand for payment.
Okay. At least as of May 27, 2020, the bank had hired, I'm referring to Amplify Credit Union as the bank. Is that okay with you?
Perfectly fine.
Great. The bank had hired an attorney, and it had hired an attorney to make a demand on WC Alamo Industrial Center LP, a Nate Paul entity, true?
In this case, yes.
Mr. Arroyo, Exhibit 1032, please. Same thing with regard to WC 707 Cesar Chavez, yes?
Yes.
AG 1033, Mr. Arroyo. Same thing with regard to WC Custer Creek Center Property LLC, correct?
Yes.
All 3 of those entities are in default at the bank as of May 27 of 2020, right?
Yes.
So you posted them for foreclosure in July of 2020, right?
We would have had to post those.
Object not responsive.
Sustain. Answer the question.
So you posted them for foreclosure in July 2020, right?
Yes.
No, you never did you?
Then I object to relevance, Your Honor.
Did your bank post?
Well, overruled.
Did your bank post these 3 properties for foreclosure in July of 2020?
Objection, relevance.
Overruled.
Can you ask the question again?
Let me try for the 4th time. Did your bank post these 3 properties for foreclosure in July of 2020? Yes or no?
I don't know when we posted them for foreclosure, but they were posted for foreclosure.
That wasn't my question. And I believe the answer to my question is you don't know, right?
Then if that's my only choice, then I don't know when we posted them for foreclosure.
They weren't posted for foreclosure in July of 2020 because there was a foreclosure moratorium under the CARES Act, true?
If I am not aware of that, how long that moratorium was actually in place. But if you want to foreclose on a property, you have to file a foreclosure, I believe, 21 days before the scheduled foreclosure date.
That's right.
So filing is not a foreclosure. It is the notice of intent to foreclose on the first Tuesday of every month as foreclosures take place in Texas.
And surely the bank wanted to get its money back through foreclosure as fast as possible, right?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
Did the bank want to get its money back as fast as possible through foreclosure?
We wanted to receive repayment by whatever means necessary.
Very good. Mr. Arroyo, Exhibit AG 1034, if you would. Now, this is an affidavit of posting of a property for foreclosure, right?
It appears to be, yes.
And the date of this is July 10 of 2020, yes?
Yes.
And the entity that's being foreclosed upon is WC Custer Creek Center Property, LLC, yes?
Yes.
And that's in Plano, Texas, my neck of the woods, Collin County, Texas, right?
Yes.
So you posted this one on July 10th for August foreclosure, yes?
It appears to be that. Yes.
Your testimony on direct was you posted all 3 of them for August foreclosure, correct?
That is my recollection.
That's not right, is it? Let's take a look at what's marked as Exhibit AG 1035. This is an email from Nate Paul to some people at the bank, yes?
It is.
And Nate Paul says, I'm writing to confirm you're aware of the attached announcement. Ms. Epley went through that with you, correct? Correct?
Can you ask that once again, please?
Ms. Epley went through this email with you, correct?
Yes, and I saw the email at the time.
Last sentence of that first paragraph, it says, in light of foregoing, please confirm before 5 p.m. today that you will not be attempting to proceed with a foreclosure tomorrow. A foreclosure tomorrow, not 3. True? That's what Nate Paul says in this email, right?
He does use the words a foreclosure.
And on when responds the next day. That's House Board of Managers Exhibit 676 that was on the screen earlier. And she says, Brian, it is, and she's writing to Brian Elliott at World Class, it is our position that the restrictions cited in the unsigned informal guidance would not apply to our particular foreclosure sales. However, as a courtesy to borrowers and per your/their request, Amplify is willing to postpone the foreclosure sale to September 1, 2020, right?
I don't have that document on my screen, so I can't confirm or deny that's what it says.
Would you like to look at my copy?
Sure.
Mr. President, the House is willing to concede that the email written by them, his client, is in the singular.
It's a little late for your concessions. I'd like the witness to answer my question if I could, Mr. President.
Let him read it, and then you can repeat the question.
Thank you.
She does use the word the.
Mr. Arroyo, Exhibit AG 1036, please. You didn't even notice the substitute trustee sale for WC 707 Cesar Chavez until August 7, after the AG's opinion was issued, correct? Correct?
I have a different recollection of those events.
Well, that's why we have documents, right?
I believe this was the second posting
Oh, really?
to make it for the September sale.
Do you have a document with you, perhaps, or in that massive pile of documents somewhere, where your bank posted the other two properties for foreclosure in August?
I do not.
It seems kind of important-ish, isn't it? You don't have that, do you?
I do not have a document of that nature before me.
Well, in any event, we know for sure that there's an August 7 posting of that after the foreclosure sale, yes?
It appears to be a notice regarding substitute trustee sale, yes.
Exhibit AG 1037, if you would, Mr. Arroyo. WC Alamo Industrial Center also posted on August 7 of 2020 after the opinion was issued. True?
Yes.
Exhibit AG 1038, if you would. A separate notice regarding substitute trustee sale, August 7 of 2020 for WC Alamo. True?
Yes.
After the opinion, yes?
Yes.
And just to be clear for the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and for the media who's gathering information on this, you told the media you had all three properties posted for foreclosure in August of 2020. And we read about it in the newspaper, true?
Yes.
In fact, not in evidence.
But you don't have...
Objection.
What is your objection?
Facts not in evidence, relevance, and counsel's testifying.
He just said yes.
Sustain the objection.
You told the media you had all three properties posted for foreclosure in August of 2020, correct?
I don't recall my exact words, but I did tell the media that we had that we had world-class properties posted for foreclosure, yes.
You don't have a document to prove the other two, do you?
No.
Show you what's marked as Exhibit AG 1039. This is the affidavit of posting for WC 707 Cesar Chavez, correct?
Yes.
Exhibit AG 1040, if you would, Mr. Arroyo. We're going fast, but I think you can keep up. Mr. Garrison, was it? We're at August 10 of 2020. It says notice regarding substitute trustee sale. This is for WC Custer Creek. True?
Yes.
You re-noticed it for the next month. Is that right?
Yes.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, were any foreclosures being stopped in Collin County, Texas at this time?
I wouldn't have knowledge of that.
You don't know, do you?
No.
So when you testified on direct that for whatever reason, this opinion disrupted the business of foreclosing these properties at the bank, you don't really know whether Collin County stopped doing any foreclosures at all, do you?
Objection asked and answered as to Collin County.
Overruled.
You don't know, right?
I only have knowledge of what Amplify Credit Union did in response to the midnight opinion.
That really wasn't my question, so let me try again. Do you know whether Collin County was doing foreclosures at this period of time or not?
I do not.
Mr. Arroyo, Exhibit AG 1041, if you would. And this is your affidavit of posting of WC Custer Creek Center property for foreclosure on August 10 of 2020, correct?
Yes.
Now, you sold all three notes, right?
We did.
So you didn't have to foreclose any of the three properties, correct?
Ultimately, we did not have to foreclose on any of the 3 properties.
And you didn't have to foreclose any of them because your bank lost $0. You sold all 3 notes and your bank lost $0 as a result of whatever this informal legal guidance was, correct?
That is correct. We ultimately sold those notes.
And you didn't lose a single dollar. Just tell the jury.
We did not.
Why? Well, let's put our heads together. How did all 3 notes get sold at the same time? Doesn't that seem coincidental?
It was not a coincidence at all.
It wasn't a coincidence because Brian Hardiman is a man who his name may or may not have come up in this trial at some point. He put together 3 special purpose entities and he had his agents come and buy these notes from your bank. Yes?
I have no idea. I know that the notes were purchased. I do not know who formed the special purpose entities. I only know who I interacted with.
Isn't it true that all 3 of these notes were sold to special purpose entities of Brian Hardiman?
I don't know.
Isn't it true this is the same Brian Hardiman who's the subject of the bid rigging investigation in Travis County District Attorney's Office referral number 2, and the same man who sent Ken Paxton a picture of a dead deer?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'm sorry,
Mr.
I'm not quite done
President,
yet.
no, absolutely not. Facts not in evidence, and absolutely staining someone who's not here without any basis.
Wasn't quite finished, but Mr. President.
Sustained.
Very well. Do you know who Brian Hardiman is?
I do not.
Who did you interact with on the sale of these 3 notes?
Justin Bain.
Justin Bain. Okay, so I guess what we would need to do if we wanted to see if there was any connection between Justin Bain and Brian Hardiman, we could just probably Google Justin Bain
Objection,
and
Your
Brian
Honor,
Hardiman,
if I could.
right?
Mr. President,
Sustained.
thank you.
If you would, Mr. Arroyo, Exhibit AG 1042, please. Sold that note to somebody called Alamo Lanark, right?
Yes.
Justin Bain entity, B-A-Y-N-E, true?
Yes.
Didn't lose a dime, yes?
I'm sorry, say again?
The bank didn't lose a dime, right?
Right.
Exhibit AG 1043, if you would, Mr. Arroyo. Sold this note to something called Cesar Rainey Street LLC, right?
Yes.
Bank didn't lose a dime, right?
Right.
Justin Bain entity, B-A-Y-N-E, right?
Yes.
Exhibit AG 1044, please. Mr. Arroyo. Sold this note to something called Spring Custer LLC, and the bank didn't lose a dime, right?
Yes.
Justin Bain entity, B-A-Y-N-E, right?
Yes.
You've been in banking 44 years, did I hear that?
Yes.
That's a long time, right?
It is.
If somebody wanted to, I don't know, foreclose on a piece of property themselves and wipe out the existing owner's equity, this is probably a good place to start, isn't it?
Objection, Your Honor. The default has to occur first. He's implying things that aren't relevant.
Sustained.
No further questions.